The creation of Adam and Eve. In the beginning, God had created the heavens and the earth, the universe with all its wonders, the light, the stars, the seas, the mountains, and finally a special garden called Eden. This garden was filled with trees of every kind, whose leaves and fruits were beautiful to look at and delicious to eat. In the center of Eden, God placed two special trees, the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. It was a place of peace, a paradise where nature reflected the glory and perfection of the Creator. Despite the beauty and fullness of Eden, God had a greater purpose. He would create beings in His own image and likeness to rule over the earth and enjoy communion with Him. Thus, on the sixth day of creation, God decided to form human beings. God bent down to the dust of the earth He had created, and with a mixture of tenderness and power, He began to shape the first man. Every detail was carefully formed: his hands, his feet, his face, his eyes. Once his work was finished, God did something special, something He had not done with any other creature. Leaning over the man of clay, He breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. The man opened his eyes and breathed for the first time. This living being was called Adam. God saw that his creation was good. Adam was placed in the Garden of Eden, where he was given the responsibility to tend and work in it. The garden was his home, and in it, he found everything he needed to live. However, God noticed something. Although Adam was surrounded by beauty and life, he had no one to share it with, no one with whom he could form a special and deep relationship. God said, "It is not good for man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him." Before creating this helper, God brought to Adam all the animals of the field and the birds of the air. Adam, with a clear mind and full understanding, gave each one a name, but among them, no suitable companion was found for him. Adam was different. His soul sought a connection deeper than that of any other creature. So, God made Adam fall into a deep sleep. While he slept, God took one of his ribs and, with that rib, formed a woman. God shaped her with the same care He had used when creating Adam, giving her beauty, intelligence, and a special connection with the man. When Adam woke up and saw the woman, he knew immediately that she was part of him. Filled with joy, he exclaimed, "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, for she was taken out of man." God blessed their union and told them to be fruitful, to fill the earth and subdue it. He gave them dominion over all living creatures, from the fish of the sea to the birds of the sky and the beasts of the earth. God granted them the gift of life, the gift of companionship, and the privilege of living in communion with Him. In the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve enjoyed a perfect relationship with each other and with their Creator. God gave them one important command: they could eat from any tree in the garden, except the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. "The day you eat from it, you will surely die," He told them. It was a simple yet fundamental command, representing the trust and obedience they were to have toward God. For a time, Adam and Eve lived in harmony. They knew neither evil, nor pain, nor death. Naked and without shame, they enjoyed Eden and God's presence. The garden, with its rivers, its animals, and its abundance, was the paradise God had planned for them. In this perfect place, every sunrise was an opportunity to enjoy creation and walk with God, who would stroll through the garden in the cool of the day. Adam and Eve not only shared Eden, they also shared a purpose. Together, they tended the garden, enjoyed each other's companionship, and cultivated a relationship with God based on trust and love. There was no need, no lack, because God had provided everything they needed. But in the midst of that perfection stood the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, a reminder of the freedom God had given them. It was there to test their trust and obedience. Its presence in the garden marked the line between life in perfect communion with God and the possibility of disobedience, something they had not yet experienced but would soon become a reality that would change everything. The creation of Adam and Eve marked the beginning of human history. God made them to live in relationship with Him, to govern creation, and to reflect His glory. In Eden, They were the guardians of the garden, responsible for maintaining the beauty and order that God had established. And although Eden was full of life and promise, the true story was just beginning.